Hello everybody. This video is going to be on evolution. Um so let's start with what evolution is. And I've taken some advice from you guys and I've understood that my um mouse handwriting is horrible. So I'm just going to type from now on and I'll just use that for diagrams, okay? So evolution is basically a way that species adapt to their environments and adapting, okay, and adapting means to grow a trait that helps them live in their environment, like how you could say, I'm trying to think of an example. You could say, oh yeah, how wolves have fur, because they live in cold places, right? And camouflage for a bunch of prey and things like that, right? So that is something that like an adaptation would be, okay? And um okay, and basically in this video we're gonna learn how it happens and what it is. So evolution is basically a way to further the means of a race. So we evolved from stupid creatures with one neuron to stupid creatures with two neurons, and then it kept on going until we were a complex creature. By the way, the best one in the world. Like we're just better with billions and trillions of neurons, right? So that is evolution, and basically there is this thing where everything is derived from one ancestor, or like the last one, and we call this Luca, okay? Or if you want to have the entire name, last universal common ancestor. And this thing, it was basically just a cell. It wasn't anything important. But from this came a bunch of stuff, okay? Like a bunch of dinosaurs, everything. Everything a 4-year-old knows about, okay? And let's talk about how it happens. So let's start with humans, because humans is the easiest example, okay? So we have let's just name a random human. This is not the actual human, but let's say Homo erectus. Okay? This is the first human ever made. Okay? Now, from this human, okay, they traveled, right? They traveled to this place. They traveled to this place. They traveled to this place. They traveled to this place, right? And since they traveled to so many different places, there were different mutations that were made, right? So let's name this one F, mutation F. Let's name this one mutation G. Then let's name this mutation H. Okay? Now all of these mutations started to make their own species and became different races of humans. And eventually they died out because Homo sapiens are just better, right? But yeah, we basically, that's how evolution usually works. And this race, Homo erectus, basically evolves into these. So Homo erectus does not exist anymore, okay? Homo erectus lives on in H, G, and F. And F, G, and H, as of right now, are very, very, very close brothers and sisters on the evolutionary tree. Let's do a more interesting example, okay? So let's talk about, let's say chimpanzee human ancestor, right? This guy evolved into, first of all, humans and also chimpanzees. And what happened to these guys is that they evolved into it. It's not that like different species are made from them, they're still alive. They basically just merge with these. These guys are like the next generation, okay? You can think of it as this. They're the next generation. These guys have died out because they have all now evolved into chimpanzees or humans. Happens is that now these two are very closely related, right? We're like about 98% related because we have such a young common ancestor one thing and we are direct descendants, right? And that makes you wonder, are we related to anything else? And the answer to that is we are related to everything. Everything. I'm talking about even those spiders. You are killing your cousins right now. I'm just kidding. But everything, like, let's say spiders, okay? Like, we're all in a social media of people, of species, and we are all connected in one way or another. We all have the other's DNA because we all originated from one ancestor. All of us. And while others are closer, like us and chimpanzees, and others are farther, like us and spiders, which I absolutely hate, right? We are all related. Like we are 40% related to cabbage. And this does not mean that we're like related to a cabbage. This just means that our DNA is 40% identical to a cabbage. Okay? It's just that it has certain components and it has that like reduced genes. Like you could say that like nobody really knows, but we might have evolved from a cat. Like we might have became sentient beings and that of the sort, right? And I just want to say one thing that plants do not evolve from animals, and animals do not evolve from plants. That's just really hard to do. That's a very hard thing to do. All right, now, as we all know, Darwin coined the term when he was visiting South America for an expedition, and what happened was that he found a bunch of finches. What is that? You aren't. You. Nobody likes you. Um, he found a bunch of different animals with different adaptations, right? Um, so that's how he coined the term. And also another thing is, a few geologists at the time were thinking, "Oh my God, wait, the Earth isn't 1,000 years old. That means that the Earth is changing like a lot." And then Darwin was like, "Oh my God, guys, yeah, totally. That also means that life is changing." And he was right. If he wasn't, then that would be sad. But yeah, and that was just a quick history of it. And just to keep this video short on you guys, I just want to talk about one last thing: trees. Okay, so as you would see, you would probably see Luca at the bottom of this tree. And this tree is a one with a lot of branches, okay? Like this, I guess you could call the primate section. Humans, chimpanzees, orangutans, stuff like that, right? You could call this the ant section, right? You could call this the arachnid section, right? You could maybe call this the, I don't know, bird section, like dinosaurs, robins, blue jays, bluebirds, you know, that type of the sort. And it is very messy. This is just like maybe one or two species at most, right? But this is basically what it is, right? Because everything comes from one of these things and they have evolved and they have like evolved at their different point of times. Like this is not true, but birds evolved from Luca at a certain point in time. Arachnids did at a second. Like that's how it worked, right? And plants did at another, right? So yeah, that is how evolution works. That is how evolution works. I hope you understood this. I hope you do good on your test. I hope that you don't think I'm a bad teacher, and I hope you understand how evolution works. If like the most basic term is basically one species makes has two children, like two like children species, and they evolve into either of them, right? They right. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I hope you all have a wonderful, amazing day and a good test.